Hi! This copyrighted broadcast of the National Athletic Association of Schools, Colleges, and Universities may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of Nudge Plus.
And today we witness not just a battle for victory but a celebration of resilience, passion, and school pride. Magandang araw po, and we welcome you once again to the 22nd season of NAASCU Usad sa 22. And we are live here in the Holy Angel University in Angeles, Pampanga. The name is 𝐍ᴜᴅؑ covering alongside Coach 𝐍𝐀𝐀𝐒𝐒𝐒𝐿 and 𝐍𝐴NELA at the sidelines. And we'll be having our second game of the day out of 4. In a while, it'll be between the University of Makati, Hardy Herons, and the MANUEL Quezon University Stallions.
And good morning to all the viewers out there watching live stream.
And right now, we'll be turning it over first to our courtside reporter, 𝐍𝐴NELA for a pre-game report.
Now we are down into our second game, UMAK going against MLQU. Both of this team ay wala pa rin nauuwing panalo. Lack of communication, lack of transition defense. Ayan ang parehong kakulangan ng dalawang koponan. Sino kaya sa UMAK MLQU ang mag-uuwi ng kanilang unang panalo? Ayan ang dapat nating abangan. Now, I'm turning it over to our venue announcer.
Basketball action continues here at the Holy Angel University in Angeles City, Pampanga, for the 22nd season of your NAASCU. Our game in Canada, 𝐍𝐴NELA University is going up against University of Makati. Let us now meet the scores beginning with your MANUEL. Head coach of the MLQU Stallions is 𝐍𝐴NELA. Assistant coaches 𝐍𝐿𝐴NELA. Team consultant is Rainer Garnier. And now let us meet the starting unit for your university. Small forward number 22, 𝐍𝐿𝐴NELA. Starting center number 25, 𝐍𝐴NELA. And point guard number 26, 𝐍𝐴NELA. And the other forward number 13, 𝐍𝐿𝐴NELA. Head coach of the Hardy Herons is 𝐍𝐴NELA. Assistant coaches Carlos 𝐍𝐴NELA from the North and against Jumbo. Our referees for this game are
The starting five for MLQU: Antonio, Placido, Dino, Manriza, and Julian. For UMAK, it's 𝐶𝑢𝑐𝑎𝑏𝑒𝑛, Loria, Reforzado, Erum, and Santos. So that's a couple of familiar names on the side of the University of Makati.
Yes.
And for MLQU, you know, sabi ni Coach Joshua Nicolas, a bunch of rookies.
Yes.
Unti lang yung sophomores. And there's Julian, their man of the middle, who is at his third year. So, you know, safe to say both teams mostly composed of rookies, of new guys. Pero itong starting five ng UMAK, again, I've covered them in the other leagues.
Yes.
And yung mga pangalan, more than familiar to me.
Yes, I completely agree on that. And this is an interesting matchup as both teams came from a tough loss.
And again, both teams not having a foreign student athlete.
Mhm.
So that's something to look forward to. Kahit pa paano, medyo level yung playing
Yes,
field.
yes.
Because obviously there's an unspoken advantage if you have an FSA. But right now, both teams a deadlock at 2. Meanwhile, on the other side, Placido nowhere to go. A steal right here.
In that possession, Placido forced his way in, and that cost him a turnover.
The attack. That's going to be same ball possession as that was Loria. Jobin Loria will trigger the inbound from the baseline. Jadi Antonio is bothering him. Meanwhile, no good at that jump shot. They try to get it back, but Dino has it. Long pass. That's going to be off the mark, so possession will go back to UMAK.
Another miscue in the part of MLQU, and that's their second turnover in the game.
Erum will fire. No good. Rebound by Julian. Rather, that was Placido nabbing the board. Meanwhile, Dino will fire for 3, and he will knock that down from Rainbow Country.
Dino last game, he made 14 points against St. Clair of Caloocan.
So here comes UMAK. Trying to circulate the ball on offense, but a foul will be called on Manriza. So it's a 3-point lead so far for the Stallions. With less than 2 minutes passing by in chapter number 1. Tocaben triggers the inbound. Finds RJ Erum. Against Jadi Antonio, he will attack, he will send it out. Reforzado for 3. Overcooks that shot. They will try to get it back, but stepping out of bounds was Tocaben.
And that's a great offense in the part of UMAK, trying to move the ball around and kicking out to the other side of the court.
Meanwhile, Tocaben gets it back. A foul called. That was on Manriza. So 2 freebies coming up for UMAK's Reinhard Tocaben.
And that's the second foul already of Manriza. He has to be careful right now.
Free throw number 1 for Tocaben, that's good. Make that now a 2-point lead for the Stallions, a chance to cut it even less.
Tocaben didn't play last game against CUP.
So that's 2 out of 2 for Tocaben. Possession now with the Stallions, but UMAK being aggressive on defense.
But that was a silly foul para dito kay number 26, Erum.
Silly
Trying to
indeed.
gamble for that steal.
Coach GP Valencia, you could see the expression on his face. It was, you knew it was silly. But right now, it'll be Dino triggering the inbound from the other side of the court. Antonio, turning it over. And that's going to be Jobin Loria with a bucket.
And great press defense in the part of UMAK.
And indeed, that UMAK defensive press effective for them. And Coach Joshua Nicolas's boys will talk things over. We'll return after a short break.
Come and join the fighting actions here with Johnny Park, Natalia, and Kenjiro. Game of the Immortals, available on the Google Play and App Store. Download now. Go on, Pinoy!
Back to the action right here. 1-point lead for the UMAK Hardy Herons. Jadi Antonio. The pull-up. No good for Antonio. Here comes the Erum. Forward pass. Reforzado. Touchdown play for UMAK.
A good pass there by Erum, finding an open teammate. Reforzado.
Meanwhile, great passing for MLQU, but that's going to be great defense from UMAK. And 𝐍ᴜᴅญ่, no defender inside.
All day long para dito kay Loria. Another fast break opportunity in the part of UMAK.
So a 4-point swing for UMAK off that MLQU timeout.
Yes. That's a very unfortunate in the part of MLQU.
It's not looking good for MLQU. They were up by 2, now they're down by 5. And they're stuck at that 5-point mark. Meanwhile, 4 minutes, or rather 3 minutes passing by in chapter number 1. Dino, the ball is in his hands. The pick provided by Placido. Dino has nowhere to go. Inside, Antonio. Almost but not quite. Although he will shoot 2 freebies.
And that was a great find para dito kay Dino for a cutting Antonio. Take a look at that replay, or rather, Antonio will get 2 freebies because of his cut to the basket.
So far, it's 2 points for Jadi Antonio. Make that 3.
And Jadi Antonio has been struggled when he played against St. Clair. He shot only 2 out of 13 in the field.
He'll go 2 out of 2. So that cuts the lead of UMAK to just 3. Meanwhile, Erum against Reforzado, another pick. RJ Erum will attack. Drops it. Great find to Reforzado, but they will miss that shot.
Sorry, miss in the part of UMAK. That was an open lay-in already.
Antonio up top. Dino has it. He will attack. Dino sends it to the corner. Garcera. Back to Dino. Thought about the 3. Out to Antonio. He will fire one. And he will sink it from Rainbow Country.
And that's the first 3-pointer in the part of MLQU. And now we are all tied at 10.
Lastra puts one up. And Jadi Antonio getting called for a foul.
And this is very interesting in the part of UMAK. With the players like Lim, Montecastro, and Nepomuceno, they're not in the court right now.
First one is no good for Lastra. Second one on its way. So 1 out of 2 for Lastra. Again, that's another familiar name on the side of UMAK. Here comes MLQU. Placido will attack against Loria. He puts one up. That's off the glass.
Oh, good attack there by Placido. Very aggressive at the start of this game.
Meanwhile, Lastra, high pass. Reforzado almost lost it. Back to Lastra. Sends it out. Erum up top. Traveling violation. Two-point lead for the Stallions with less than 6 minutes remaining. Dino. Nowhere to go. Garcera crosses half court. Sends it out. Antonio, another try from deep. That is short. Lastra finds Erum at that fast break.
Good pass there by Lastra for an open teammate Erum. That's his 4th basket in the game.
So the Hardy Herons has a 1-point lead. Under 5 minutes remaining in chapter number 1. Enzo Montecastro enters the game. Nelo Santos as well enters the game. Meanwhile, Garcera. They swing it around. Jadi Antonio will attack. Antonio puts one up. No good for Jadi. They get it back though. Antonio one more time. That's good for MLQU.
Great job there by Castro, keeping the ball alive. And good shot there by Antonio. That's his 7th point in the game.
Lastra. Montecastro for 3. No good at that shot. Garcera brings it down. Antonio for three. In and out for Jadi Antonio. Santos to the cutting Monte Castro, sends it out. Good passing, long two. They won't hit it. Antonio, high pass. On the other side, they will lose it. Possession will stay with MLQU. 1 point lead for the Stallions. Under 4 minutes in chapter number 4. Rather, chapter number 1. Baseline inbound. Garcera finds Dino. They fire for three. No good for Gabby Dino. Meanwhile, on the other side, Monte Castro touchdown for UMAK.
Great find there by Lastra.
Enciso hands it off. Dino out to Enciso. The pick from Tolentino. Enciso changing gears, lays it up and in.
Great attack there by Enciso, using his right hand layup.
1 point lead for the Stallions. No good on that three. And here comes MLQU, a chance to extend their lead. Enciso lost it. Lastra taking advantage. 3-on-2 situation. Lastra off the glass.
And good anticipation there by Lastra.
So it's a 1 point lead now for the Hardy Herons. Garcera to his teammate. No good off the glass. It's back with them. Garcera for three. Won't connect. Great rebound and tap by Erum. Or rather, that was Lastra. Santos on the attack. No good. And two freebies coming up for Nelo Santos. Let's take another look on this attack coming from Nelo Santos off that Enzo Monte Castro pass. Unfortunately, it did not go in. Nonetheless, Santos will take free throws as first one is no good.
And John Nelo Santos, he's averaging 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 assist. Something to look out for the part of UMAK.
1 out of 2 for Nelo Santos. So it's now a 2 point lead for the Hardy Herons. Meanwhile, Manriza losing it. Great defense from Lastra. But they will get it back, courtesy of Tolentino. Sends it inside, and that's a completed play for MLQU.
Great pass there para dito kay Tolentino.
No good from Nelo Santos. We have a deadlock at 18. Here comes the Stallions. Enciso has it. The spin. And a foul will be called on UMAK.
And that puts UMAK in the penalty situation. And MLQU will have a chance now to lead this game. And so far, this is a seesaw battle already, Cho.
And indeed, again, both teams coming off a loss. Both teams have no FSAs. So you could definitely conclude that the playing field is at a level. Enciso first freebie was no good.
Enciso, Jiro Enciso is averaging 10 points and 5 rebounds with 2 assists.
We're nearing the 2 minute mark of our first period. Lastra to Nepomuceno. He will fire a three, and he will connect from downtown.
And Nepomuceno coming off the bench. Last game, he made 12 points and 5 rebounds playing against CUP.
Antonio receiving that pass. He's up against Hernandez. Enciso again. Now it's at the corner. They fire, but that won't connect. Nepomuceno tries to save it, but it stays with MLQU.
And great effort there by Castro, trying to keep the ball alive for the part of MLQU.
So a minute and 33 remaining. 3 point lead for the Herons. Corner, baseline attack, Pinoy step. What a move that time.
What a reverse layup there by Enciso.
1 point lead still for the Herons. Lastra fishing a foul. That's gonna be 2 freebies for the Hardy Herons.
And that's a very smart move para dito kay Lastra. And Ciso, during that possession, his defense wasn't set up. And that puts them for UMAK in a penalty, rather for MLQU in the penalty situation, a chance to get 2 free throws.
First one is good for Lastra. Already has 4 points, 4 boards, 3 dimes in this game.
Wow, we're just ending first quarter.
I think that's 6 points already for him. Actually 5 points. A great stat line to start our game. Meanwhile, Antonio gets it. Enciso gives it. Great find to the cutting Tolentino.
That was a great assist para dito kay Antonio.
Meanwhile, UMAK trying to figure something out. Monte Castro, no good at that fadeaway 3. Here goes Antonio, picks it up. Will lose it. Possession will go to the Hardy Herons.
And that's a lucky break in the part of UMAK. And Lastra tapping it in against Antonio.
Meanwhile, Lastra, Monte Castro has it. The pick. Sends it to the other side. Lastra, Monte Castro for 3. Still not connecting for Enzo, but they will get it back. Hernandez to Lastra. He puts one up. No good. He will get it back. And will get the putback.
What an effort na binibigay nitong ni Lastra for UMAK. That's his 5th rebound in the game.
Make that 7 points for him. Meanwhile, Enciso the pick. He will reject it. And he will attack instead. Send it out. 3-second violation called on MLQU.
And that's the 7th turnover already of MLQU.
Meanwhile, last 3 seconds. And that'll do it for our first period. 25-22. Seesaw battle right here, but it's the University of Makati Hardy Herons on top just by 3 points. And we'll return after a short break to start our second period. And once again, this is NAASCU Season 22, Usad sa 22.
Come and join the fighting actions here with Johnny Park, Natalia, and Kenjiro. Game of the Immortals, available on the Google Play and App Store. Download now. Go on, Pinoy!
Twenty-five to 22. 3-point lead for the Hardy Herons as we approach our second period. And so far, both teams actually only making 9 field goals.
Yes.
But the more efficient team is MLQU.
Yes, 100%. And it's because MLQU is really taking advantage of the turnovers. Or rather, UMAK is taking advantage of the turnovers of MLQU.
But again, the more efficient team is MLQU at 47%. From downtown.
Finally, a basket for Monte Castro. Last game against CUP, he has 13 points, 3 rebounds with 5 assists.
He gets the steal. 5-point swing. Oh no, not a 5-point swing. He didn't make it. Sorry, miss actually for Enzo Montecastro as he looks or has dismay on his face.
Normally, that's an automatic basket for Monte Castro.
Laksarum looking to enter the game in exchange of Lastra. Four-point lead for the Herons. Garcera brings it down. Up against Laksarum, the pick. Still with Garcera, will send it out. Dino for three. He won't connect. It's still with MLQU, they keep it alive. Garcera tried to drop it to Julian, but that's a turnover.
Passes too strong in the part of Julian, not receiving the ball.
4-point lead still for the Herons. Hernandez. This time, the attack by Nepomuceno sends it out. Laksarum for three. He won't connect. Rebound by Antonio. Garcera quick to bring it down. Dino for three. Still won't fall. Another try. Placido. That's no good. And a foul called on UMAK. Possession will stay with MLQU.
And that's a great offensive rebound in the part of Julian.
So Garcera will trigger the inbound from the baseline. As Nelo Santos goes in for Hernandez. At the corner, Garcera will fire. He won't connect. They get it back though. Antonio from way downtown. Still not hitting. And now, Santos and UMAK with the possession. High pass, apparently too high. That was intended for Reforzado coming from Santos, but a turnover instead.
A miscue there in the part of UMAK. And sayang yung advantage na yun for UMAK, not converting a basket of a turnover of MLQU.
Garcera brings it down. Placido. Now Garcera has it. The pick from Julian. High pass. Off the glass. That's good for Julian.
And that time, perfect execution in the part of Garcera and Julian.
Santos almost losing it. Turns the ball. No, will not turn the ball over. Napaganda pa yung laro.
Oh, that was very unfortunate in the part of MLQU.
If you ask Nelo Santos, he'll say that he did that on purpose. Meanwhile, Placido has nowhere to go. Puts one up instead, but a foul will be called on Nelo Santos.
And that possession is going nowhere in the part of MLQU. Unfortunately, natawagan ng UMAK ng foul doon.
Let's take another look on this attack coming from Placido. Again, he was caged. But Nelo Santos getting called for that foul. And the first freebie is good for MLQU's Placido. Second one on its way. He makes it a one-possession game. 3-point lead still for the Herons. Montecastro manning the point guard spot. Santos at the right side of the arc. Picked up by Antonio. He rejects the pick from Nepomuceno, but will send it out instead. Nepomuceno unable to knock down that three. Santos gets it back. Still no good. And here comes Placido. Dino.
Great rebound there by Placido.
That's another whistle. They will turn the ball over after a traveling call.
That's another unforced error in the part of MLQU. And sayang yung mga stops nila already in the part of Stallions.
And now let's turn it over to Janela Manuel for a report.
Import from the other teams shouldn't be an excuse for us to lose. Umaasa ang University of Makati na makapag-uwi ng unang panalo from this match. Aminado sila na mahirap ipanalo ang kanilang mga naunang laro dahil malalakas ang mga kupunan na nakaharap nila, lalo at may mga import ang mga ito. Ngayon, susubukan nilang makabawi at makapag-uwi ng panalo. That's all I have for now. Cholong Quito.
Thank you very much, Janela, for that report. And obviously, these teams don't want to, make the excuse that they don't have an FSA. But, at the end of the day, at least
Yes.
for me, I do believe that it's inevitable that you'll suffer.
Yes, especially in the part of for both teams coming from a tough loss. Siyempre, they want to go home here with a win. One of these teams will definitely go home with a win.
But at least for now, they won't have to think about having an FSA or not having an FSA. Sarum, no good at that 3 ball. Monte Castro, he gets it back, but they will draw a foul. So 2 freebies coming up for Monte Castro as Stallions already at the foul limit.
This is a huge advantage in the part of UMAK.
Or wait a minute, that's still first team foul rather for
Yes.
the Hardy Herons, and they will get it back. Laksarum triggers the inbound. Lim, first shot of the game is a 3 ball, and it's good.
The last game, Lim already really started the game well, hitting those open threes.
Meanwhile, UMAK getting back to possession. They are running. They send it out. Monte Castro attacks. Sends it out. Lim one more time. Gets it to go.
Instant offense in the part of Yuma, and itong si Lim. Last game against CUP, he made 16 points.
Robert Lim, 2 out of 2. 6 points, all from the land of 3. Meanwhile, Garcera sends it out. Placido from deep. Able to answer back with his own 3-point bomb.
A nice 3-point shot there by Placido, and that's his 9th point in the game.
Meanwhile, attack, sends it out. Lim thought about the 3. Almost lost it, back to him. He puts one up. He'll get a foul. And Robert Lim feeling it.
And this is a perfect time for Lim to get himself going. Imagine 6 straight points for Lim, contributing for UMAK.
Robert Lim, the 5'11" guard. Obviously from UMAK, and played, a lot of minutes last game. Pero usually, hindi daw siya rotation piece talaga ni Coach GP.
Yes.
So talk about, just stepping up and taking advantage of the opportunity.
Yes.
Nonetheless, it's going to be 7 points already for Robert Lim. Garcera hands it off. Jadi Antonio sends it out. The attack. Dino, another send out. Garcera will fire. No good for MLQU. Rebound by UMAK. Here comes Lim. Quinto. Traveling violation called.
Very unfortunate the part of UMAK. And that's the 4th turnover already in the part of UMAK.
4-point lead for the Herons. Another chance for MLQU to make something happen. Dino to the cutting teammate and Castro.
And that's the problem of UMAK. After that press, they're not running back on the floor.
Monte Castro, they're up just by 2. 1 possession game. Laksarum, left side of the arc. They swing it around. At the corner, Lim for 3. It's short, he will get it back. He will send it out. Castro, rather Monte Castro, to Laksarum. Still not falling for UMAK. And that's going to be a turnover, sloppy turnover on the side of MLQU. And the timeout will be called by the Hardy Herons as Coach GP Valencia will talk things over with his boys. We will return after this short break.
Join the action-packed battles of Game of the Immortals. Introducing Johnny Park, Natalia, Kinjiro. Soon to unlock, Marin Lee, Sister Christina. Hurry and play now to unlock more levels. Game of the Immortals, available on Google Play and App Store. Download now. Go on, Pinoy!
37-35, only a 2-point advantage for the Hardy Herons. Monte Castro will trigger the inbound from the sidelines. 14 seconds to shoot for UMAK. Lim, one more time. He won't hit it. Quinto will get it back. And will put it back in, plus the foul.
It was a great effort in the part of Quinto.
First bucket of the game for Enrico Quinto.
Grabbing that offensive rebound.
A chance to make it a 3-point play. More importantly, a chance to make it a 5-point lead for his team. And he will indeed just do that. Here comes MLQU. Again, they're just down by 5, although it's a 2-possession game. With over 3 minutes remaining in chapter number 2. Jadi Antonio will attack. Antonio. That's 2 freebies coming up for Jadi. Get a chance to make it once again a 1-possession game.
And so far, Jadi Antonio is the leading scorer para dito sa mga Stallions. As he has 11 points already, grabbing 7 rebounds.
First one is good for Jadi Antonio. Second one on its way. 2 out of 2 for Jadi Antonio. Already has 13 points in this game. Add 7 boards to that stat line. Meanwhile, Tocaben up top. Monte Castro for 3. He won't hit it. Rebound by Garcera. He is running. Puts one up. Puts one in. Plus the foul.
And great aggressive move in the part of number 24, Garcera. That's his first basket of the game.
Chance to tie the ball game up as we'll take another look. Garcera just changing gears. Putting it up and in with a suspenseful fashion. And MLQU on a run right here. And he ties the game at 40. Under 3 minutes remaining in chapter number 2. 3-point bomb, no good. Quinto able to grab that rebound. Possession staying with UMAK.
Another great effort in the part of Quinto, keeping the ball alive, giving UMAK another opportunity to score here.
Tukabin, nowhere to go. Sends it out, Loria. They have 8 seconds to work with. Erum. Quinto, fade away. No good. Loria gets it back. He puts one up, and he's gonna get a foul, or rather, he's gonna draw a foul, and he's gonna get 2 freebies.
And right now, UMAK is really dominating the boards. They already have 9 offensive rebounds.
So Jobin Loria at the line. You gotta love the hustle from this guy. His first one is good. Gives UMAK the lead once again. Jobin Loria at the line. The 6'2" guard on the side of the Hardy Herons. Meanwhile, Garcera, Dino, all day to shoot. In and out for him. Here comes Enrico Quinto. Tokabin, the jumper, no good. Yuki and Ciso on the run. Sends it out. Jadi Antonio for 3. Won't connect. Rebound by Loria. High pass to Erum. No look pass to Tokabin. Unable to complete the play was UMAK.
Very unfortunate in the part of UMAK, not converting off transition.
They have a 1-point lead though. And that's gonna be a foul. Possession will stay with MLQU.
And that's a smart move of Garcera. He knows that the opponent, UMAK, is in the penalty situation.
So free throws rather will be given to Garcera, who has 3 points already in this contest, along with 2 boards and 2 times. That rolls out of the rim. Could have tied the ball game up, but still has 1 more chance to do so. So CJ Garcera, the 5'8" guard, fresh out of Our Lady of Fatima University, will tie the ball game up at 41. However, another chance for the Hardy Herons to take the lead, or rather regain the lead. Enrico Quinto will lose the basketball. MLQU on the run. Dino, great defense from Reforzado.
And that was very unfortunate in the part of MLQU not converting in that transition. But someone for UMAK is on the floor. And I believe that's Santos. He's grabbing that left knee.
Yes, that's Van Santos, the other Santos of UMAK, jersey number 10. As both teams on the penalty right now. Still, he's on the floor. Hopefully, it's nothing serious. Coach GP Valencia attending to him. Same with his teammates.
This is very tough in the part of UMAK.
I mean, they're on some kind of a momentum. So
Yes.
this stoppage will really perhaps will have an effect rather on them.
Yes.
So still on the floor, it's Van Santos. Hopefully it's nothing serious for him. But his teammate will now help him up. Will seem to need all the help he can get.
Yes. And this looks pretty bad, as you can see. He's been carried off by his teammates.
Again, hopefully it's nothing serious for them. Seems like he can't put any weight at all on both of his foot. So we have a deadlock at 41. A minute and 21 seconds remaining in chapter number 2.
And so far, UMAK has been struggling offensively, shooting 33% in the field. They let MLQU force 12 turnovers, but still not capitalizing that much, as they've been missing a lot of fast break opportunities.
As hopefully it's nothing serious. Again, he can't put any weight at all on both of
Yeah.
his feet. So prayers up for Van Santos, and he'll be wheelchaired out of our playing court.
And this is something you don't want to see in any player.
No good. Loria. No good. Loria, the reverse, turning garbage into gold.
Another offensive rebound para dito kay Loria.
And the steal by Erum. Another steal for UMAK. And another conversion.
And that one, UMAK made sure that they convert out of the turnover of MLQU.
The UMAK press working wonders for MLQU. But that'll be a bucket from Sean Julian on the other side.
Another dime para dito kay Dino for an open teammate, Julian.
RJ Erum will lose it, but a foul will be called. So we have another deadlock at 45.
And that's very unfortunate in the part of MLQU. They have the ball already. Ito na ngang si number 20. A nice lay-in there by Loria, using his length to get that bucket.
Shot clock is off. Last 12 seconds. Jadi Antonio looks at the clock. 8 seconds remaining. The bench of MLQU chanting the time remaining. 4 seconds, no good. Lastra, half-court heave. Overcooked, and that'll be it for our first half. 47-45, 2-point lead for the University of Makati Hardy Herons. Again, a seesaw battle we're witnessing today, but still, again, an eternity of basketball is still to be played. Still no conclusions, still no possible conclusions for the past half. And we'll return for the start of our second half. Once again, this is the one and only NAASCU Season 22, Usad sa 22. It's 45 to 47, 2-point lead for the University of Makati Hardy Herons as they stay on top in the driver's seat, at least for now, only with a small margin at 2 points. But then again, MLQU has been the more efficient team.
Yes.
And they, again, just like at the end of the first quarter, they have the same number of made field goals.
Yes, 100%. As you can see, MLQU really shooting the ball well with 43% in the field, dishing out 13 assists. And right now, they're +3 in rebounds with 29. However, they committed a lot of turnovers already with 12 turnovers. And doon nagkakapitalize ang UMAK.
And again, here's our Don Benito's Pambansang Kasaba halftime stats, just like what I mentioned before.
Yes.
MLQU, the more efficient team.
Yes, for Don Benito's halftime stats, for UMAK, they're shooting only 36% in the field, grabbed 26 rebound, but their points production on the bench is very outstanding with 25 points, and their second chance points, they already have 11.
So a +9 on the bench points and +3 on the second chance points.
Yes.
So obviously both of the teams have their own specific strengths.
Yes.
And we still have an eternity of basketball to be played to determine who will end up being the victors.
And for MLQU, if they want to win this game, they need to take care of the ball against the press of UMAK.
Definitely easier said than done, as UMAK's defensive press have been punishing MLQU for a couple of possessions during that late first, or rather late second period.
Yes.
But right now, leading the charge for MLQU is Jadi Santos, or rather Jadi Antonio, with 13 points, 7 rebounds. And then for the side of UMAK, it's Loria with 9, although Lim and Lastra has
Yes.
7 of their own. Not to mention Erom has 6. So a much more distributed scoring output on the side of UMAK. Meanwhile, Jobin Loria will attack. Lastra up top. He will attack as well. Drops it last minute. And RJ Erom passing to nobody, turning the ball over.
And that's a great defense in the part of MLQU, playing in a zone defense.
So here goes MLQU, able to break the press. Butterfingers in that sequence as Castro could have had an open look.
And that was a great intention in the part of Gracera.
And for the meanwhile, let's turn it over to Janela Manuel for a report.
Van Maren Santos of University of Makati suffered from knee injury. According to his coaches, hindi nakasuot ang kanyang knee support on today's game at tuluyang bumigay ang kanyang left knee. Coming into this season, he already had this injury. The referees confirmed that there are no contact happened with any players. He was stretchered off court and currently under observation. That's all I have for now. Cholong Quito.
Thank you very much, Janela, for that report. And indeed, it's unfortunate about what happened on the side of Van Santos.
Yes. And get well soon para dito kay Van Santos.
Hopefully, it's nothing serious for him.
And definitely, this will be a motivation para dito sa UMAK to get this win.
Meanwhile, got a that shot. As that'll be a three-pointer and a three-point lead for the Stallions.
And Dino has been struggling all game long, and that's the first three-pointer para dito kay Dino.
They swing it around, reverse lane, that's good. And great execution for the Hardy Herons.
And great patience for UMAK moving the ball around.
Meanwhile, it's a one-point lead for the Stallions, and a foul will be called on UMAK. So still a seesaw battle, as no one really able to get a big margin, or rather a significant margin. Dino triggers the inbound, finds Placido. Dino gets free, will fire a three. Unable to knock that down. Here comes UMAK. Lastra trying to find his teammates. Will send it out. Erom from the corner. No good. Jadi Antonio sends it out. Corner 3. Placido overcooks it, but they will get it back. Dino inside. Placido, the spin. Nowhere to go. Puts one up. Won't fall. Rebound reforzado. RJ Erum on the run. Picks it up. What a move coming from RJ Erum.
And Erum, that's his 8th point in this game.
Too high of a pass coming from Dino that was intended for the cutting teammate in Placido.
And this is very surprising for MLQU. You played against St. Clair last game, and for sure you've learned a lot in that game in terms of taking care of the ball. But right now, they already have 14 turnovers.
Nonetheless, Stallions only down by 1. Meanwhile, almost a turnover. Inside, a foul will be called, and 2 freebies coming up for UMAK's Brian De Los Santos.
Pushing out on number 6, 𝐍𝐶𝐀𝐀𝐒𝐒
And
his 4th personal.
Or rather, that's Ryan De Los Reyes, the
Yes.
6'2" forward of UMAK.
And this is very unfortunate in the part of MLQU, as Castro already committed with 4 fouls.
First one is no good for Ryan De Los Reyes. 1 out of 2, that'll give them a 2-point lead. But it's still a 1-possession game. MLQU brings it down. Jadi Antonio steps on the brakes. Dino, right side of the arc. The pick from Tolentino. 𝐍𝐀𝐀𝐒𝐒 attacks. And great defense coming from 𝐍ᴜᴅḻᴇ, forcing a turnover.
That's a questionable move para dito kay 𝐍𝐶𝐀𝐀𝐒𝐒, forcing his way too much.
Timeout called by UMAK as they're up by 2. Will return after a short break. Back to the action right here as we'll take another look on that RJ Erum breakaway lay-in. Again, UMAK up by 2. And a warning on the bench of MLQU will be called. So next one will already be a technical foul.
Yes.
But nonetheless, we'll continue our play. Nastra, right side of the arc. Up top, this time left side, it's Loria. Back to Lastra. He came from the right side. Now he's at the left side, and he will attack. Antonio able to intercept the passing lanes. And Loria got it back, but stepped out of bounds.
And that was a great deflection in the part of Antonio.
So right now, Antonio and MLQU a chance to take the lead or tie the ball game up at 52. On the other side, 𝐍𝐶𝐀𝐀𝐒𝐒 will attack. At the corner now, it's Tolentino. Another attack. No good on that hook shot. 𝐍𝐶𝐀𝐀𝐒𝐒 saves it. Outside, Placido. He has 10 seconds. He fades away. Still not going in for MLQU. Erum, high pass. Pinpoint passing to reforzado, but they will settle outside. Lastra attacks. Another send-out pass. Great defense from Jadi Antonio, intercepting the passing lanes.
Yeah, great recovery in the part of Jadi Antonio.
So Enzo Montecastro will check in exchange of Lastra. And he'll be the one to trigger the inbound from the baseline as well. He finds 𝐍ᴜᴅḻᴇ. Back to Monte Castro, but that's going to be a sloppy turnover for UMAK.
And that's the 8th turnover in the part of UMAK.
2-point lead still for the Hardy Herons. Jadi Antonio up against Erum. He sets up the offense. Horns play for MLQU. Sends it inside. Placido. Great play, but they're unable to finish. Nonetheless, 2 freebies will be given to Placido.
And that's a great execution in the part of MLQU with the horns play. Great cut by Placido. As you can see that replay.
Another look. Again, great pass, great dish from
Yes.
Jadi Antonio. Great catch as well from Placido.
Yes. As you can see, 4 UMAK players are on Placido.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Even if all 5 were on Placido, they were all late on the response.
Oh, yes.
And that'll be a tied ball game after 2 free throws from Asi Placido. Meanwhile, Santos for 3. Short. Rebound by Dino. Almost a steal by Santos. Out of bounds. It'll stay with MLQU.
And that's a questionable decision in the part of Dino. Wala naman dumidepensa sa kanya sa harap. He should have set up the play.
Meanwhile, Enciso, left side of the arc. Enciso now at the right side. Will give it to Dino up top. Thought about the 3. He will attack instead. No good. Tolentino gets it back. They dive for it. A wrestling match on the floor. Ends up with UMAK. Meanwhile, UMAK, sorry, missed by Santos. He will get it back though. Great save. Erum gets it. And what a crazy sequence for
Yes.
both teams.
Yes, that's very unfortunate in the part of MLQU. They have the ball already. And they love pass it to against an opponent.
So Erum will have a chance to give UMAK the lead back. One of the key players of Coach GP Valencia, but he
Yes.
will miss that first freebie. So far already has 8 points, 1 rebound and 1 assist, playing over 14 minutes of action, but he'll go 1 out of 2. UMAK hanging to a 1-point lead. Under 4 minutes remaining in the third. Antonio up top. Enciso. The spin. He almost lost it. He will send it out. Corner. Traveling violation on Dino.
And great defense there in the part of UMAK.
Quinto quickly gives it to Erum. Santos at the right wing up top. This time Monte Castro back to Erum. They swing it around. Santos thought about the 3. Will lose it on the attack. Here comes MLQU, 3-on-1 situation. Antonio will complete it.
That's a great fast break lay-in para dito sa MLQU.
Meanwhile, no good on that 3 ball. Santos gets it back. Cleans up. Oh no, will not clean up, but will get it back once again. Monte Castro back to Santos. Finally redeems himself.
Yes, and Santos made sure that he'll make that basket, and that was a great find para dito kay Monte Castro.
Meanwhile, inside, no one was there to pick up Enciso.
And that's a great two-man action, the part of Dino and Enciso.
So far, Enciso with 8 points in this game. Meanwhile, UMAK trying to generate some offense. Santos, once again, traveling violation called.
And Santos was looking for a contact in that possession. And Tolentino was able to stand on it on his place.
Yes, Monte Castro was signaling him to take the 3 already. Nonetheless, Stallions up by 1. Still a seesaw battle right here in the third. And Ciso will lose it. Julian picks it up, backing down to Reforzado. Dino thought about the 3. Carcera. The fake inside. Puts one up. Basket and 1.
Wow, that was a great hesitation move in the part of number 24. But that was a no basket. kay Garcera.
So no end one.
Yes.
So that's gonna be unfortunate. I mean, that was a nice couple of moves for Garcera. Nonetheless, MLQU with a chance to extend their 1-point lead. And 𝐍𝐀 triggers the inbound, finds 𝐍ᴜᴅḻ, hands it off. Garcera. The ball is with him. Will he use the pick? He will. Garcera has 3 seconds. Nowhere to go. Fades away. Shot clock violation on MLQU.
No player movement in the part of MLQU. And that's very unfortunate.
One-point lead for the Stallions. 1:43 remaining in chapter number 3. UMAK a chance to take the lead. Montecastro at the left wing. Fires for 3. Yes, sir!
And finally, Montecastro making a basket in this third quarter.
2-point lead for the Hardy Herons. Jadi Antonio, great find. 𝐍𝐿 inside. Getting fouled by Lorion. And now, another set of freebies for MLQU.
Very unfortunate in the part of UMAK. And you can see that possession going nowhere for 𝐍𝐿. Pero binabahan yung kamay ni nitong number 18, nitong si Lorion.
𝐍𝐿 first freebie. Works for him. Lead is down to 1. A chance to tie it once again at 58. Over a minute remaining in chapter number 3. Still a seesaw battle between MLQU and UMAK.
This might be a tight game down the stretch.
Deadlock at 58. Again, another chance for UMAK to regain their lead. They've lost it. They've gained it a couple of times as well. Nepomuceno getting fouled on the act of shooting. And 3 free throws will be given to Nepomuceno.
And that was a smart move by Nepomuceno selling that play.
So JD Nepomuceno, the 6'2" guard from UMAK, will take 2 freebies. A minute remaining in chapter number 3. 1-point lead for UMAK.
And JD Nepomuceno had been silent in this game. In last game against CUP, he made 12 points, 5 rebounds.
But right now has 5 points. Will miss that third freebie. They will get it back. Great save. Montecastro. Airball in that shot. Another save. And they won't get it back though. Meanwhile, 𝐍𝐿. Outside pass. Dino. Thought about the 3. Another pass. 𝐍𝐿. They will pass it around as they'll have 12 seconds to work with. Antonio though, getting fouled on the act of shooting. So this time it's them who will shoot through 3 free throws.
And that's a bad decision in the part of number 27 to 𝐍𝐀. Challenging Antonio on the 3-pointer.
So Quinto seems to have gotten hit. Nonetheless, Jadi Antonio will be shooting 3 freebies. So far, he has 15 points, 9 rebounds.
Yes.
Double-double watch for him as he sinks that first free throw.
Finally redeeming himself from the bad performance last game against St. Clair.
Second one on its way for Jadi Antonio. No good. So last one coming up for him. He can make it a tied ball game at 60. And he does. So Dino and Antonio will take a seat.
Yes. For sure, they will take a breather to give time to rest in preparation for the fourth quarter.
Less than 40 seconds remaining. Nepomuceno, sidestep 3, won't work. Laxaro gets it back, another try. Still not falling, great defense from the Stallions. De Guzman on the run, gives it to 𝐍𝐶ISO. They will lose it, but De Guzman picks it back up. Sean Julian. It's still with MLQU. 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. 𝐍𝐶ISO for 3. Airballed. Laksaro almost lost it. He picks it up back. Montecastro the attack. Sorry miss from UMAK. Another try. Basket to end one for Nepomuceno.
And good thing Nepomuceno was right there after the miss basket of Montecastro. Ang dami nila mga miss basket.
7 points already for JD Nepomuceno. Along with 2 boards, a chance to make it a 3-point play. And more importantly, a chance to make it a 3-point lead for UMAK. And he will indeed just do that. He has indeed a lot of missed opportunities for UMAK. Could have been a much bigger lead if they have sunk those opportunities. Nonetheless, UK and 𝐍𝐶ISO, sidestep, drops it. Placido, the bucket is good.
That was a great feed in the part of MLQU. Ito si 𝐍𝐶ISO.
And that'll be it for the first 3 chapters. 63 to 62, a 1-point gap in favor of the University of Makati HERONS. And we'll return for the start of the 4th period. And once again, this is NAASCU Season 22, usad sa 22. Back to the action right here in Holy Angel University, Angeles, Pampanga, for the NAASCU Season 22, usad sa 22. 1-point lead for the UMAK HERONS as we approach the 4th and final period of this ball game. Again, UMAK hanging to a 1-point lead as both teams hungry for that first W of the season.
Yes, and this is anybody's ball game at this moment. But right now, UMAK is up by 1 point.
Coach GP Valencia and his boys, again, hanging on to that 1-point lead and will look to extend it even further. But right now, first possession will belong to MLQU. So they have a chance to take the lead with this first possession of the 4th period. So the 5 for MLQU, it's Castro, Antonio, Placido, Dino, and Garcera. And for UMAK, it's Laxarum, Nepomuceno, Montecastro, Lorion, and Quinto.
Number 13, thanks to Montecastro at the 1 minute and 1 buck of the 3rd quarter was moved as a 2-point miss.
So wait a minute. All 62 as Enzo Montecastro's 3-point shot was deemed only a long 2-pointer.
Yes, that's correct. And they saw Montecastro stepping on that 3-point line.
So that makes things much more interesting as no one was there to pick up Gabby Dino.
And that's the second 3-pointer by Gabby Dino. That was a poor defense in the part of UMAK.
3-point lead for the Stallions. As slowly but surely things getting more intense. Montecastro to the corner, Laxarum ties the ball game up at 65.
Good ball movement in the part of UMAK. Montecastro dishing it out to an open Laksarum.
Here comes Jadi Antonio, another tied ball game. Intercepted by Montecastro. Here comes the Hardy Herons. Enzo, Laksarum. Out to JD. Enzo up top. Asking a pick from Quinto. He will reject it. Nelo to the other side. Back-to-back three-pointers for Yano Laksarum.
That was a great read para dito kay Nepomuceno. They know that Laksarum is red hot in the field right now.
Gabidinho unable to answer back. Placido keeps it alive for MLQU. He will attack baseline, but a foul will be called on JD Nepomuceno.
But despite of that two huge three-pointer, UMAK is just up by 3 points.
Let's take another look. Yano Laksarum sinking that shot. Again, giving them a 3-point lead and then tying the game, or rather tying the game first and then giving them a 3-point lead. Gabidinho sends it out. Jadi Antonio attacks. Jadi Antonio, no good off the glass. Another try, that's good for Hans Castro.
And that's the 17th offensive rebound in the part of MLQU.
Hubert Castro, 8 points in this ball game, along with 5 boards and 1 dime. JD Nepomuceno steps back, finds a teammate. Laksarum has nowhere to go. Behind the back move, will lose it. Great defense by Garcera, but possession will stay with UMAK.
But that was a poor spacing in the part of UMAK. Lorion should stay away in that possession para maka-atake sa Laksarum.
Meanwhile, Montecastro fades away. No good. They get it back. Lorion fishes for that foul, and 2 freebies will be given to UMAK.
And plus, that's the 5th personal foul on Castro. This is very huge in the part of MLQU, losing a big guy like Castro.
Hubert Castro, 5 fouls out of this ball game. Tallied 8 points, 6 boards, 1 dime. That's going to be tough for MLQU. First one is no good for Jed Lorion.
And UMAK has been struggling in the free throw already, shooting 14 out of 23.
0 out of 2 for Jed Lorion. But still, UMAK hanging to a 1-point lead. Garcera, Dino, the left side of the arc. To the other side, Antonio for 3. Short, he tries to get it back, but is unable to. So possession now going to the side of UMAK. They can extend their lead right here. Yano Laksarum, the young gun. JD Nepomuceno, the right side of the arc. Nepomuceno puts one up. Off the glass, it's good for JD.
And smart move there by Nepomuceno, getting to his sweet spot using the board.
Dino looks at the clock. Garcera calling up a pick. Placido provides it. Garcera against Quinto. The spin. The pass. Nowhere to go. 4 seconds to work with. 3-pointer. Garcera. That's short. And Antonio. Last minute foul.
Talking about heart para dito kay Antonio, not giving up on the play.
So 2 freebies coming up for Jadi Antonio. Already has a double-double with 17 and 10. Let's take another look. Airballed by Garcera, but again, no one was there to box out Jadi Antonio.
Yes, and late recognition in the part of Nepomuceno, not boxing out.
Meanwhile, that's going to be 2 free throws good for Jadi Antonio. And it's back to a 1-point lead for the Herons. Yano Laksarum sends it out. Montecastro for 3. They get it back. They keep it alive. JD Nepomuceno. His turn.
In that sequence, Nepomuceno was wide open.
And perhaps one of the biggest leads of this game, 4 points in favor of the Hardy Herons. Dino for 3, unable to answer back. Tolentino grabs it back. A foul called on the side of UMAK.
I think that's a questionable decision the part of Laksarum. Very unnecessary to grab the arms of the opponent.
And 𝐍ᴜᴅ getting a lot of minutes right here.
And Coach GP is really giving him a lot of experience.
Again, 𝐍ᴜᴅ knocking down those 2 straight 3-pointers at the first part of the fourth
yes.
period. Antonio to the other side. Garcera at the right side. Last 3 seconds to work with. Garcera sends it out. Dino for 3. Bang!
Just in the nick of time para dito kay Dino. That's his 3rd 3-pointer of the game.
And to no one's surprise, the lead of the Hardy Herons back to 1 point. Meanwhile, JD Nepomuceno getting fouled by Jadi Antonio. As that'll be foul number 2 in this quarter for Antonio.
Inning games. That's all I have for now. Chalong Quito.
Thank you very much, Janela. Meanwhile, basket. Oh, no. Will that count? Yes. It will count for Reforzado.
Yes.
As he can make it a 2-possession lead for UMAK. With how this game has been, that's going to be a comfortable lead.
Yes, and that's another offensive rebound in the part of Makati.
Reforzado. Unable to make it a 3-point play nonetheless. A little room to breathe for the Hardy Herons. Garcera, high pass. The attack, 𝐍𝐀𝐀𝐒𝐒 drops it. Meanwhile, Jadi Antonio for 3. Yes, sir!
Wow. What a kick-out pass para dito kay Tolentino. That's his 2nd assist in the game.
A deadlock at 75. Montecastro up against Garcera. Laksarum, MLQU.
And great effort para dito kay 𝐍𝐀𝐀𝐒𝐒. Trying to keep the ball alive para sa MLQU.
So far, by the way, they will get it back. Basket and one. Basket and one. Sean Julian using his size.
And talking about presence of mind para dito kay Julian. Grabbing that rebound and put it.
Dino rushing that shot. Sean Julian just being at the right place at the right time.
I'm talking about quality minutes by Julian.
But he'll miss it. So again, to no one's surprise, UMAK has a 1-point lead. Laksarum. Nepomuceno. The pick from Reforzado. Nepomuceno puts one up. That's good for JD Nepomuceno. He has 15 points.
A big-time move para dito kay Nepomuceno, carrying UMAK and keeping his team alive.
Jadi Antonio. MLQU passing it around. Dino has it. Dino will attack. Gabby Dino fades away. Won't go for him. And UMAK having this possession. Montecastro. Good on that 3. And so Montecastro out of his mind.
Big-time shot there by Montecastro. That's his 2nd triple in the 4th quarter.
13 points for Enzo Montecastro. Meanwhile, Jadi Antonio attacks, no good. They will get it back. Laksarum is running. Montecastro. One more time. Yes, sir!
Wow.
Enzo Montecastro. Cold shot.
Ice in his veins for Montecastro. That's his 3rd triple of the 4th quarter.
That's the biggest lead of the game. 9 points. And the big-time player, that is Enzo Montecastro, tallying 13 points with a cold-hearted 3-point shot. And we'll return after this timeout. Back to the action right here. That guy, Enzo Montecastro, has 16 points, leading UMAK in scoring. And again, a couple of cold-hearted shots coming from Montecastro down the line. Meanwhile, basket and one for Asi Placido. And MLQU not looking to be phased by the past baskets of UMAK and looking to instantly answer back.
And Placido, he has 15 points already in his name with 6 rebounds.
Let's take another look on this attack as MLQU capitalizing on that sleeping defense of UMAK. He will complete the 3-point play, will cut it to a 6-point lead. Still, the hardy Herons with a comfortable cushion. Over 3 minutes remaining in chapter number 4.
And UMAK cannot be overconfident in this situation.
Lastra has it against Antonio, sends it to the other side. Montecastro asking for a pick. He's hot right now. Enzo Montecastro, crossover. Thought about the 3, will get it back. Almost lost it. Loria from the corner. No good. Antonio tried to fight for it. But wait a minute, there's going to be a whistle. A foul, actually, on UMAK.
And that's a bad decision in the part of UMAK, fouling a shooter like Antonio. And they know that UMAK is in the penalty situation already.
So Antonio can cut it to a 2-possession lead for UMAK. Again, this guy has been impressive as well. 22 points, 23 points after that free throw. 11 boards, 2 dimes. And again, I talked to Coach Joshua Nicolas. He said Jadi Antonio is indeed expected to really perform for MLQU.
Yes. And unfortunately, last game against St. Clair, he was shut down. And this one is a redemption game for him.
2-possession lead for UMAK. Lastra puts one up off the glass. Crazy shot coming from Lastra.
Oh, talking about body control para dito kay Lastra.
Garcera hands it off. Dino. They're down by 6. Oh, risky pass that was intended for Jadi Antonio. Meanwhile, Montecastro. Smart move to reset the offense. Lastra at the logo. A foul will be called on Yuki and Ciso.
And if you're in the part of UMAK, you need to get the ball in the hands of Montecastro.
Meanwhile, Lastra steps back. Tried to pass it to Lorio. Or rather, that's, yeah, that is his teammate. Gotta be a turnover.
And that's a questionable decision in the part of Loria. He was open already to take that shot, but decided to pass and commit another turnover.
6-point lead. Under 2 minutes remaining in chapter number 4. MLQU, more than manageable for them. Garcera uses the pick from Enciso, almost lost it. Garcera, Dino for 3. He cuts the lead of UMAK to just 3.
Oh, what a shot there by Dino.
1-possession game. UMAK on top. The crowd chanting defense. Lastra to Enzo Montecastro at the top. He's been hot. Montecastro. Reforzado for 3. Yes, sir!
Talking about big-time shot para dito kay Reforzado. He has 9 points already in his name.
6-point lead for UMAK. Over a minute remaining. Big-time shot from Reforzado. Meanwhile, it's Dino. What will he do? The ball is in his hands. Dino steps back for 3. No good. They try to get it back. Big-time rebound from Loria.
And this is a huge possession in the part of UMAK. And let's see if they will capitalize on the penalty situation of MLQU.
Slowly but surely, UMAK seeing light at the end of the tunnel. Lastra almost losing it. Out to 𝐍𝐿. Gives it to the other side. 𝐍𝐿 attacks. Will turn the ball over.
And that's a great defense in the part of MLQU. Montecasio is trying to ask for the ball, but itong si Antonio denying it.
Timeout called right here by MLQU. As they're down by 6, 91-85, and will return after this short break. Back to the action right here. Another look on that 𝐍𝐿 big-time three-pointer. He didn't even plan to take that shot. He was looking for Enzo Montecastro, but he was running out of time. He needed to put one up and, you know, everything just falling on the side of UMAK.
Yes. And you can see that that offense is going nowhere in the part of UMAK.
37.5 seconds remaining. 14 seconds to shoot for MLQU. UMAK on the verge of getting their first W in NAASCU 22.
And right now, I want to see the ball in the hands of Antonio.
Indeed, he is the best candidate to shoot a shot. He's been the leading scorer of MLQU, Jadi Antonio. There's going to be a foul. And both teams are on the penalty. So that's going to be 2 freebies for Jadi Antonio.
And that's actually a good foul in the part of UMAK, because in that way, they'll keep the possession in the last possession, rather, of this game. And Antonio, as you can see, he missed that first free throw.
Still a 6-point lead. And Antonio will go 1 out of 2, but they needed those 2 freebies. Nonetheless, Coach GP Valencia calls a timeout right here. They're up by 5, 30 seconds remaining in chapter number 4. Back to the action right here. It's a 5-point lead for the University of Makati. And again, they're on the verge of getting their first W of NAASCU 22.
And so far, the only way to stop this time is for MLQU to foul.
Under 30 seconds remaining, Lastra to the other side, JD Nepomuceno.
They need to foul here.
Still no foul. Nepomuceno drops it. 𝐍𝐿 outside. UMAK being smart with time. 𝐍𝐿 back to Loria.
And that was a great cut para dito kay Loria.
And again, you gotta credit UMAK not being complacent as we see that monstrous block coming from 𝐍𝐿.
That's a great stop in the part of UMAK. And now they are leading by 7 points.
13.5 seconds remaining. Shot clock is off. MLQU not the best situation they could be in. Meanwhile, long two, no good from Gabidinho. And I think that will do it. JD Nepomuceno will bring it down, but they will just wait for the clock to run out.
And this is a great win para dito sa UMAK. And great composure too down the stretch.
And that'll be it for our ball game. What a win coming from UMAK Hardy Herons. 91, or rather 93 to 86, a 7-point victory. Garnered by the University of Makati Hardy Herons.
Yes.
And great job for them again. Since the very beginning, it was a seesaw battle. You know, they lost the lead, they got the lead, but then again, you know what happened? Enzo Montecastro happened.
Correct. And apart from Enzo Montecastro, you have Nepomuceno with 15 points, Loria with 13, and don't forget De Forosado and Erum with 9 points apiece.
So everybody just contributing on the side of the Hardy Herons, leading to this 7-point victory. Again, congratulations to Coach GP Valencia, to the rest of his coaching staff, and to the rest of the players of the UMAK Hardy Herons. But right now, we'll be seeing our Synergy Best Player of the Game. Let's turn it over to Janela Manuel.
We have here the Synergy Player of the Game, Enzo Montecastro of University of Makati. First of all, congratulations, Enzo. What an intense game. On the first half, halos dikit lang yung score eh. But you know, at the last minute of the quarter, nagpaulan ka ng mga tres. Grabe yung init mo that time. So ngayon nakuha na kayo ng unang panalo. Ngayon nakuha na kayo ng unang panalo. Paano nyo papanatilihin consistent yung mga performance nyo on your next games?
For sure, yung defense tsaka yung shooting. Last game kasi medyo nag-regret kami dahil di kami nakashoot ng 3 points. Yun talaga yung forte namin. Siguro be consistent on 3 points and defense.
Lastly, baka may mga gusto ko na lang batiin at pasalamatan.
Gusto ko lang batiin yung family ko nanonood, yung girlfriend ko, tsaka yung mga boss namin sa UMAK, management sa UMAK. Thank you so much. Yun lang.
Again, congratulations to you and to your team. Once again, the Synergy Player of the Game, Enzo Montecastro.
Thank you very much, Janela. Once again, our Synergy Best Player of the Game, the red hot Enzo Montecastro, carrying his squad into a 7-point W with 16 points, 2 rebounds, and 6 assists. And that is it for game number 2 of this day. We still have 2 more. Next one will be between the CUP Green Eagles and the PCU Dolphins, as we'll be returning for the start of that game. And once again, this is the one and only NAASCU Season 22, Usad sa 22.